You know, back to school can be one of the most stressful times of the year for parents because kids' routines change so much.
Yeah, we're in that transition phase right now, right? Luckily, we have one of the world's leading sleep experts joining us this afternoon, Dr. Harvey Karp. He is the creator of the Snoo, and he is the author of the best-selling book, Happiest Baby on the Block. Harvey, thank you for being here. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, let's start with the sleep issue. What is the best way to get our kids back into the routine?
Well, what you guys said is exactly right. You're going from no routine in the summertime to starting to get that routine back. So several things are important. One is they got to get up in the morning because they got to get used to going to school. Second thing is having a routine at night. So step by step, whether it's brushing teeth, putting on pajamas, taking, reading a book and saying their prayers, that kind of thing. One of the things that's really helpful for getting their brains starting to turn off to go to sleep is dimming the lights in the house about an hour before bedtime, turning off the TVs too, because TV kind of keeps the brain more awake. And then the second thing is turning on white noise or some kind of rumbly background noise about an hour before bedtime, and then letting them sleep with that. White noise or rumbly sound it's kind of like a pillow. It makes kids feel comforted, and it helps them not listen to the sounds outside the room or maybe sounds outside the house. So those are two good things, or a few good things that help to get sleep on the right track.
And you know, Dr. Karp, a lot of kids have anxiety about the new school year. So what's your advice on dealing with that?
God knows they have every reason to, right? I mean, it's been such a shift since COVID that everybody's a little bit, off balance. One of the things that's good for anxiety is practicing breathing. There are lots of apps. There's Calm, there's Headspace. There are ways of teaching children to slow their breathing down, because it turns out that slow breathing automatically helps the body balance itself in terms of anxiety. The other thing is to be able to talk to you about what goes on at school. And now most parents will say, how was school today? Or what did you do today? It's these big, broad questions. That's not the best way to start. The best way to start is with really specifics. Who did you sit next to? What were they wearing? What did you have for lunch? Did anybody say anything funny today? Or did anybody have their feelings hurt? And you start to get little bits of information to get them to open up instead of asking these broad, overarching questions.
Great questions to ask there, and this is so valuable. You got three parents right here listening, clinging to every one of your words right now. We got time for one more question, Dr. Karp. Let's say your child has a meltdown on the way to school. A lot of these kids have separation anxiety from their parents. Any thoughts there quickly?
Yeah, for little kids, one of the things that helps separation anxiety is to give them something to keep in their pocket that whenever they're missing their parent, they can reach in there and touch it. It could be a rabbit's foot, it could be a little silky scarf, something like that that feels nice to touch. The second thing is to practice before they go to school, because if you know they're going to have difficulties, let's practice. Okay, we're getting in the car, then we get out of the car. Who do you talk to? The parents also, for preschoolers at least, can oftentimes stay at school for 15, 20 minutes away in the other corner, but just so the kids can see them so they don't feel totally abandoned. Last point is to make a book, and you have in the book pictures or little drawings of every step of school. And so you practice with your little kids. What do we do in the morning? We eat breakfast, we get dressed, we drive to school, et cetera, et cetera. And when you practice that every day, they get more prepared in their minds for what's going to happen, and it feels less scary for them.
Dr. Karp, thank you so much. So many words of wisdom there. I'm gonna clip this and save it.
That's right.
Thank you for everything you've done.
Great talking with you.
Yep, you as well.